Hello everyone, welcome to Raw Online classes. I am continuing with the Neurophysiology and today we will be seeing about the basic concepts of synapse. So these are the topics that I am going to take you all through. We will be seeing about synapse, what is the definition of synapse, classification and the transmission mechanism which is happening across synapse and the different electrical events that is happening in a synapse. And finally, we will be seeing about properties of synapse. Coming to the definition of synapse, Dr. Sir Charles Scott Sherrington is a famous English neurophysiologist who worked a lot on this neurons and he has contributed a lot towards the anatomy and molecular level concepts of neurophysiology. So, he actually first identified the existence of connections between the neurons, and he in his essay he clearly said that in view therefore of the probable importance physiologically of this mode of nexus between neuron and neuron, it is convenient to have a term for it. That term introduced has been synapse. Okay, so he identified the presence of the synapse or a connection between one neuron to another, and he was very much appreciated for his work, and he simply referred to synapse as a site of contiguity. And later on, a more practical definition of synapse has emerged, and this is what the simplified explanation of Sherrington's work. An anatomically specialized junction between two neurons that permits electrical communication between them. Now, you know how many synapses are there in the brain? There are almost 10 power 11 neurons, and each neuron divides to form 2000 synapses. So, almost 2 into 10 power 14 synapses are there in the brain substance. Not only in the brain, but also in the spinal cord, grey matter, lot of synapses are there. Coming to the classification of synapse, there are various classifications and various factors involved in classifications of synapse. So, this anatomical classification is based on which part of the neuron connecting with which part of the postsynaptic neuron. Okay. So, based on that, we have got different types. Axodendritic. Axodendritic means the axon goes in synapses with dendrites of another neuron. Example are lot of motor neurons in the spinal cord, climbing fibers in the cerebellum. They are all belonging to axodendritic synaptic classification. Next is axosomatic. Here the axon binds with the cell body of another neuron. Autonomic ganglia, cerebellar basket cells, all these are belonging to axosomatic neurons. Axonal synapse. Here axon of one neuron binds with axon of another neuron. Many neurons in the spinal cord are of axonal synapses. Then we have got dendrodendritic. As the name suggests, it's a dendrite of one neuron binds with dendrite of another neuron. Especially in the olfactory bulb, the junction or the synapse between the mitral and the granule cell is a dendrodendritic variety. You can see in this picture. Let me zoom it. So, this is a synapse, synaptic nerve terminal ending directly into the bloodstream. This is a type of chemical release or chemical communication which is called as neuroendocrine communication. So, here the axon directly empties the neurotransmitters into the bloodstream. It is also called as axosecretory or neuroendocrine cell. Okay. Second one is the axonic synapse. Here you can see the axon terminal of one neuron goes in synapse with axon of the another neuron. Okay. So, this is axonic. Next is axodendritic. You can see here the axon of one neuron goes and binds with the dendrite of another neuron. This is a dendrite of this neuron. Okay. So, there is a synapse between axon and dendrite. This is axodendritic connection. Then another one variation is this axo-extracellular. Here you can see the axon of one neuron is just blindly opening its neurotransmitter into an extracellular fluid compartment. Okay. So, surrounding extracellular fluid, that is axo-extracellular. Finally, we have got axosomatic. See, one axon of one neuron goes and binds with the soma of another neuron. Okay, there is one subvariation in this axosynaptic, whereas you can see an axon of one neuron goes and binds with the already existing synapse, okay, of another neuron. All these varieties of synapse are based on the anatomical classification.